Welcome back to my 12 Days of Christmas for 2021. This is day 3 and today's show is WandaVision, the first Marvel Disney Plus show to have aired. To this day, still my favourite of them we've gotten. No shade to the other ones because I've really enjoyed them all. But WandaVision was the one that really kind of captured my heart, I think, with its messages and its characters, what it kind of explored with its themes of grief and everything. I think it was such a brilliant kind of debut for Marvel Disney Plus series. It kind of really started out the gate strong, and I thought I would celebrate that in a video for this kind of Christmas event that we do. Obviously there were a lot of Marvel Disney Plus shows this year, and I didn't want half the countdown just to be all Marvel stuff. I wanted a bit more variety than that. So I haven't covered every single Marvel Disney Plus show in this 12 Days of Christmas. I've kind of narrowed it down a bit. I think there is one other one, including WandaVision, that'll be later on down the line. But just for a bit of variety, combined with I couldn't think of ideas for some of them, so I just thought, you know what, we'll just not cover them. So apologies if your personal favourite Marvel Disney Plus show isn't going to be featured this year. But that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles, I guess, when I've got a lot of shows that I have to choose from. And sometimes the ideas just don't strike me. I don't want to just, half-ass something and come up with an undercooked idea that I haven't really thought about or don't want to really do. So here we are, WandaVision, to get back to the topic. Yeah, I adored the show. I thought the performances were fantastic. I loved the villain that we got with Agatha in the end. Really giving Wanda and Vision as characters so much room to shine and grow, which I think is the huge strength of the Disney Plus shows thus far. I already really liked Wanda. I already really liked her a lot. But I've come to appreciate Vision infinitely more having watched WandaVision now. I adore that character now. Even dressed as him for Halloween. From the Halloween episode of WandaVision as well. Speaking of the Halloween episode of WandaVision, you're probably wondering why I've got some paper limbs on my desk. And it's a fair question. Although you probably aren't wondering because I've probably given it away in the titles and the thumbnail, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I was kind of searching for potential things to do to celebrate WandaVision because it was a very creative show. I wanted to do something a bit kind of creative and crafty with it. And then I stumbled across this website. Let me just get the sheet out. I've already pre-cut out all the stuff we need for this. KookyCraftables.com it's called. And basically it's a website where you can download free PDFs and make kind of origami figures of all your favourite characters. There's a whole range of stuff. It's not just Marvel stuff. But one of the ones on there was, in fact, Wanda in her classic costume from the Halloween episode of WandaVision, and I thought that'd be a fun little thing to do. But there was so much good stuff on there, and again it's free to just download it, and then you can print it out yourself, cut it all out, just a bit of glue, and that's all you need to kind of go for it. And they also do have a YouTube channel where you can actually see video tutorials of them making all of these, just in case for some reason the written down instructions here aren't as clear. There's a video you can look at as well, but I'm going to just try and go from the instructions and hope for the best. I think it'll be, fingers crossed, fairly simple. And yeah, I have kind of cut out all the shapes already. There's like 5 pages with the actual things on, and we're gonna go from there and make a little origami Wanda to maybe add to my desk or something. I don't know. I guess we might as well get started. I'll have links to the website that I got this from, and the YouTube tutorial and stuff, in case you want to make this yourself or check out all the other things that Kooky Craftables actually has available to you. There is a ton of stuff on there, and they're going to keep updating it with new characters, which is very cool. So yeah, let's just get started. So step 1 is just to cut out the stuff, which we've done, and then step 2 is make crisp folds on all dashed lines to create creases, and then flatten out the shape again. So basically just fold across the lines. But yeah, do let me know what your favourite Marvel Disney Plus show was this year. because I don't think there's really a wrong answer. So yeah, it would be cool to see just how much variety there is in everyone's kind of opinions on what their favourites were. I think for me, why WandaVision really struck me was because it was probably the one I was least excited for when everything got announced. So I really didn't have any expectations going into it. So I was like, I'm sure it'll be fine. I already liked Wanda anyway. But for me, the fact that basically all the development of Wanda and Vision's romance happened off screen prior to Infinity War, I wasn't that invested in it. I still found it quite sad and stuff, how things played out. But I wasn't like completely enamoured by their love story and like, oh my god, I'll die for this couple. WandaVision really turned that around for me, really sold that pairing. And you know, Paul and Elizabeth were awesome in it. So was Catherine and, you know, the guys who played the kids and all of that. So it really did kind of blow my expectations way out of the water, and I think that made it all the more memorable for me. So I was like, WandaVision, what a stupid title, and then trailers were coming out, I was like, this looks weird, I'm not sure about this. But then, you know, a very different kind of story that they told with it, bringing some old characters back that we hadn't seen in a while as well, introducing new ones that are going to be core characters, I think, moving forward, like Monica, and just doing some really great stuff with the characters, making a really different kind of show, episode by episode, you know, having each one be set in like a different era of sitcom, I thought was a genius idea, and how they tied that into Wanda's backstory and childhood love for sitcoms. You know, the twists and turns with like Evan Peters showing up and everything. Spoilers for WandaVision, by the way. You probably shouldn't watch this video if you haven't seen WandaVision, but I imagine if you were going to watch WandaVision by now, you would have. But yeah, I just was completely blown away by the show, and yeah, it's nice to be able to reflect on it now. I've rewatched it a couple of times at this point. It's the only Marvel Disney show I've actually rewatched, which I guess says it all about how much I love it. Because I don't really have a lot of time to rewatch things normally with me doing what I do. But yeah, anyway, getting so distracted, but we've got all that folded up now. So next, using a glue stick, apply glue on the dotted glue zone, and then fold as shown by securing the flap onto the dotted glue zone. So we basically want to do that and make it like an A shape, just fold it along there. Now, in regards to glue, obviously like a glue stick would be very, very good for this. I don't have one that's not dried out, as it turns out. I sat down to record this, I got a glue stick out, saw that it was completely dried out. I was like, well that's okay, because I've got like another 3. So I gathered all those up. They were also all dried out. So basically, in summary, I suck at preparation. I need to buy a new glue stick. But I do have kind of a pot of more liquidy glue, so it's not ideal, but I think as long as I'm quite subtle in how I apply it, it probably won't be too terrible. And I think if I were to have like a favourite episode of WandaVision, I'd probably go for episode 6, which was the Halloween one. I thought that was fantastic. I also really liked the finale, and episode 8 with all of like Wanda's backstory and everything, getting all those answers. It was just cool to kind of get a payoff that for me was as satisfying and emotional as the setup was, which I don't think like often happens. Okay, so we've got that glued in place there, and then you can see there's little markers to stick the arms on, which we might do at some point fairly soon, I imagine. I think that's the very next step actually, then as the back. So we're going to be sticking a cape on there at some point. Step 5, cut out the arms and glue into place onto the appropriate glue zone. So there we go. That's going to be next. Okay, so that's what we've got so far with the arms stuck on. Obviously, not hugely looking like Wanda just yet, but it will all come together. That's the first page of instructions done. So we are taking this piece now, folding up all the lines on there again, and then we basically just assemble it in exactly the same way we assembled this bit here. So, stuff we've done before, hopefully I can successfully do it again. I think I also lean a bit towards WandaVision, coming from a reaction standpoint, as you know, compared to a lot of the other shows we got this year, with probably What If being the other exception. The episodes themselves were, for the most part, a lot shorter than, you know, the other Disney Plus shows that came after, but also just shows in general. You know, the first couple of of them being like 20 minutes really. As a reactor, you can only show 10 minutes. That's actually a blessing, 'cause that's then a good chunk of the episode you can show in like a YouTube edit. But also it just means, you know, that can knock off a good hour or two out of editing sometimes when the episodes are that much shorter, because you can just blast through it a bit quicker. So as a reactor, I also kind of appreciated WandaVision for doing that. Okay, so we've made the front piece in the same way we made the back, and now the next step is to actually glue these two together like so we can make a full body. So there's just kind of a little section at the back here where it tells you where to glue. So we're not gluing on her hair, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so that's it. Both sides glued together like that. So we're getting there. We kind of got, like, the body is done, I would say, at this point. But now it's just a matter of getting the head in place, I think, and building around that. So the other bit we've got for this section is, this is called the head support piece, apparently. And then we're just going to glue it onto the front there. And then that's on like that. Looking a bit alien almost right now, but that's okay, right? It is satisfying, like, when you see some of these things kind of all come together. I think that's why I do enjoy origami when I do it. But what it must take to kind of design all of this is kind of amazing, I think. Like, putting these things together, like the people who design like Lego sets and stuff, like, how do you do it? Okay, so this was our next piece, which I think is kind of the bulk of her hair. So now we apply some glue on these zones here. And then, by the looks of it, we are going to make this into almost like a box like that, I believe is the goal. So there we are, we've kind of just formed like a little box shape with the bottom open there. Then next we need these two pieces here, which is actually from a couple of pages ahead of where the instructions are currently at. So you need to skip ahead a few, cut these out, it's the left and right ear. And shockingly enough, they're gonna stick on these sides here where it says left and right ear. Ingenious. Alright, so that's done. Attached to the ears, which is a weird sentence for me to say, but in context it makes sense. So now I need to get the next set of instructions. We've got another 2 pages of instructions and then we're all good. It's coming together, especially when I see the next piece is this. I'm gonna guess that's old Wanda's face. Can you believe I'm not a doctor? Okay, so we've creased the dotted lines again on this, and then we're gonna put this together in like a box shape, the way we did with the back of the head. Okay, so we've done that now, and all we need to do is glue on here and attach it there, just like we did when we assembled the main body. So pretty kind of simple concepts and instructions to follow, I think. I don't think it's too bad. So yeah, I will say I do wish I did have like a glue stick rather than this glue that I'm having to use. I think sometimes it's a bit of a tough time to actually get it to properly stick. So maybe bear that in mind if you want to try any of these yourself. Alright, and now that's done, so we've got the head all in place. I think we now move on to this, which I'm sure if you're a fan of Scarlet Witch, you know what that is. So there's 2 little kind of pieces here. If the camera will ever focus, that would be nice. There you go, you can kind of see it there. Little section on each side of her head to glue onto the headpiece. So we just attach it like so, curve it round, and hopefully it won't end in disaster. Okay, headpiece is on. I actually found that a little bit fiddly with the glue, but maybe again if you just have a glue stick you might be alright with it. But I think either way, just because you need to like curve this around the top, it might be a bit fiddly. So just make sure you get the bits you need to glue fully covered and you should be alright. But got there in the end, and yeah, it definitely is coming together. I really like the kind of art style with these. You can't see all the emotional grief and trauma and heartache that Wanda's going through, which is nice, I guess. Okay, so on to our last kind of set of instructions, our last extra piece here, which is the cape. And it says, with note, glue the red side of cape facing forward. So there you go. Bit of common sense it is reminding you of, which is nice of them. And then there should be, yep, there's space on the back here. So we need to glue that on. Okay, so that's glued on there, and you can just see the cape is draping behind her a bit. So all coming together now. So we've got everything actually assembled in these 2 parts. We have the body and we have the head. So how do we bring them together? To attach the head to the body, all you need to do is slide it into the gap between the body front and the body back pieces. So yeah, when we actually glue these together, Remember, we didn't have to glue on the orange bits there, you can just see that. So hopefully, Wanda's head there is probably just in the middle bit there. Can slide that in, and that's the head support on there. And there you have it, a fully assembled Scarlet Witch. I must say that looks really great. I think that's a really cool art style. Yeah, I really love this. I'm gonna have to kind of check out and see what other characters they do, because I think that looks really, really impressive, to be honest. And you know, it's a free thing that you can just like download, print out, and cut and glue together yourself. Like, really well designed and realised, I feel. So I thought I would just like quickly show you the website here, just to see what ones they do. So there's also a link to their YouTube channel on the front there. This video is not sponsored, but there you go. I like showing cool things, so here we are. Anyway, these are the downloads they've got so far. So they've got Minecraft Steve, they've got Spider-Man, and they've got lots of different Among Us crewmates, which I think is really cool. The Batman looks great. I like that he's sat down all like grumpy, like I might have to make the Batman. The My Neighbor Totoro, I think is how you pronounce that. Obviously Scarlet Witch, which we've made, Awesome Bot, Mandalorian, Baby Yoda or Grogu, an astronaut, Santa, the original. I think they've kind of added new designs there, that's why that's 2.0. And then Gabby Gobbler, guess for Thanksgiving. I don't know if that's a character from something in particular either. And then Frank versus Frank, 2 Frankensteins. I guess that's like a Halloween thing. And then a few more coming soon, so I think they're just going to keep adding and adding to this. But really, really cool designs, and fairly simple as well, I think. So yeah, I would definitely going to be making a few more of these, I would say. I think it's a really good way of kind of just spending like 45 minutes to an hour kind of just crafting something. I would say it is about an hour, including like cutting out all the stuff. Again, it doesn't take too long. I still think Wanda here looks fantastic, really well designed. Obviously not the best angle for the camera there, but she stands up just fine as well, so you don't need to worry about anything like that. But yeah, how great does she look? Really cool. A great way, I think, of celebrating WandaVision, my favourite Disney Plus show of this year. I loved the kind of hype surrounding it across those like 8 to 9 weeks of people speculating what was going to happen, some theories being true, some being false, some being very, very false. And yeah, it's a really emotional, powerful story I felt in the end that really gave some characters that were often in movies chock full of characters so didn't get any screen time, the chance to shine, and I think it really did work. And my god, did they really set the bar very high with WandaVision being the first show to premiere. I loved it. Can't wait to see what happens next with Wanda in the MCU. Obviously we're going to be seeing her next in Doctor Strange 2, so that'd be very exciting to see where she ends up. But I just thought this was a neat little thing to do to celebrate the show, and also celebrate what's probably my favourite episode of WandaVision as well, with Wanda in her Halloween outfit there. So yeah, really great little project. Again, all the links that you would need to check out Kooky Craftables, and the YouTube videos and stuff to make them. I'll link them all in the description. But yeah, really great fun, and a nice little crafting project to, for me at least, end of the day, because it's quite late now. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Let me know what you thought of WandaVision as well, and all the Disney Plus shows. Until the next video, thanks for watching.